Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. Obes, the Updog, and we got the J Swish back this week. Looking sharp, fellas. Me and Updog got the colored shirts on for Graham DeLaet. J Swish, you're representing the brand. I appreciate it. How we doing, boys?
Doing awesome, boys. Got a little golf tournament this weekend, fresh off of a 75-hour fast, so feeling good. Feeling like I need an old-fashioned and a fucking double cheeseburger.
Did you fast because you're heading into you fasted, then you're going to go get banged up? Is that why?
Yeah, no, but I think it's, I told myself a year ago that I would do this twice a year. Once in the spring, once in the fall. Just a little reset button, a little challenge to the mind. It's good for the body. A lot of stuff coming out on that fasting. Hey, Schmaltzy, like a lot of internal, things that you can take care of with just a 72-hour fucking shutdown.
Little spring clean.
That's right,
dog. Over.
Yeah,
man. It's sweat starts to be even a little pure after like day 2 go up. You just notice different things. Like you're in the sauna, or if you do a light workout, you go for a walk. I'm telling you, man. Did my first one this year, just right around damp January, and I felt unbelievable after. It's like very spiritual. I know this is that's the hockey show at the end of the day, but it's to all the listeners out there, you should try it. It's a challenge on the mind and the body.
It's a healing machine, they say.
Updog, good luck at Bel Air there, buddy. Enjoy that chicken parm at Craig's. Pickleball video is out. Thank you to Kyle Conway, Max Ice Pick Pickup. Ice, you did a lot of the work. So thank you, boys. It's turned out well. I will say this. I think you made Hockey Night in Scottsdale look as good as they possibly could, Swishy. I mean, listen, I gave you best dressed. I thought you looked like a National Leaguer. However, the video itself, I don't think really shows the beatdown that took place from the Missin Curfew boys.
Yeah, and I appreciate that from Ice and KC back there, because they really had to polish a turd, for being honest. Like, they put lipstick on a pig for us, and they could have done us really dirty. They actually made us look half decent, which was not the case. I mean, we got worked like a redheaded stepchild, like a rented mule down in Cancun, Mexico. But, Obes, you guys, you know how to play the fucking game. We've said that from this jump, and we came in like a bunch of amateurs, and we left like a bunch of amateurs. So that footage was great, though. The boys did a hell of a job. It was cool footage, and I hope everyone can enjoy that, because it was a lot of fun, especially that shack we got to play at. Holy fuck.
Yeah, not a bad shack. Thank you, Chaz, man. Chaz Michaels.
Some great monologue, Swish, you had.
Yeah, I was talking to the camera. I was trying to sell the game.
Yeah. Heat Daddy was the best when Heat Daddy goes, this house sucks, this weather sucks, this game sucks, I'm never coming back. Hey, Hubs?
It's a treat, though, boys. Like, a little pickleball with the fellas. You know, it's a game that doesn't take, crazy amounts of athleticism to play. Like, there's a lot of people out there that you're going to call it whatever, amateur game. I think Schmaltzy compared to tennis, but it is a good game where there's a lot of action, fast points. You're right there, so you can chirp the fucking other team. Tennis is like you're so far away from each other the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in your face. It's good.
The one thing I did notice is it's a really small court. I guess I don't realize at the time. Like, I watched one thing where I was at the baseline, and literally 3 steps I was like at the net. I'm like, Swishy's onto something here, maybe. Like, that was literally, and they weren't 3 big strides either. They were just kind of like little fucking, and then I was right in the kitchen like that. See?
Yeah.
Like 3 steps.
You can't get a ball past you, Obes, because you're obviously a big fella, but you also have really good hands. So it's like, if I even a couple of times I was starting to figure it out where you guys were like, you got to play way more at the net, which is completely opposite of how I would play tennis. I like to be on the baseline, work it over. But when we get to the net, like, even when I get to the net, I thought I'd have you a couple times and like throw it like right at your fucking crotch or wherever, and still kind of slash it in there, fella. So
yeah,
that's some good pause, and Uppy's obviously good too. So you guys are a good team.
Yeah, listen, you guys played great for your first game. You were 50 times maybe more better than I was my first pickleball game. Like, I almost quit, but then I was like, I can't be this bad at some kind of an athletic sport. Like, Jamie Held was working me over. I'm like, love you, Heldsy, but I'm like, guys, 60 years old. I think he might have just been turned 70. I was losing.
What's the secret with your racket, Obes? I'm looking at that racket. It's a nice racket.
Lethal.
It is, right? What is it? A spinning?
Fucking aerodynamic.
Spin?
Look at that hole in the bottom of it. Makes it.
It fits like it would have Schmaltzy's outfit.
Yeah, it would look good. Schmaltzy's outfit is unbelievable. I mean, look at that. That is. Although his shoes were white at the start, I was peppering him with so many fucking ones in his boots that those shoes weren't lime green when he started. Swishy, those babies were white.
Those are stock lime green, fella. Hide the nugget, eh?
Hey, it was great content. Looking forward to doing some more content with you guys. And Ice Pick, Cons, great job. And thank you to Chaz, man, for letting us use his fucking unbelievable shack. But check it on our YouTube channel. It's up. It's live now. Comment, like it, hate it, chirp us, let us know. But looking forward to doing some more stuff with you boys because it did turn out well. So thank you to Hall Pass and Ice Pick and Cons. You guys did a hell of a job there. Boys, moving on our little intro here. The NHL player polls. The fellas have spoken. I love this. I love when you get a feel of the league of what the guys think because we've all been in NHL dressing rooms. The ultimate compliment is what your peers think you, right? Fuck what the coach thinks. You know, obviously is important because you're playing time, but GM, all that stuff is important, obviously. But for me, I guess I'm just speaking for myself, is like what my teammates said about me, what people thought about me playing against me. That's really what I cared about, these opinions. So I'm going to start with the best forward. Obviously, it's not a surprise. Connor McDavid. I said on this very podcast to you boys a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, that I thought Nathan McKinnon was starting to make it a debate again. And obviously, I'm way off. The boys in the National League said, oh, shut the fuck up. McDavid, 73% vote. McKinnon only got 9%. Updog, I guess we'll start with you, fella. Like, are you surprised by that? To me, I thought it would be a lot closer than that, but I guess that's how good McDavid is. And the boys out there trying to chase him down.
No, I think best forward's one that everyone looks at, right? Because that's like the most offensive guy. I'm not shocked that McDavid's just been doing what he's doing. McKinnon, has been on his coattails forever, but McDavid's the guy to chase. To me, I look at this complete player. Crosby 33%. Like I have Draisaitl in there. I think Draisaitl, and I have written down Ikes is like
Jack Eichel. Yeah.
Look at the way fucking Draisaitl can score, how he plays both sides of the puck, his hockey sense. I think that's. I would have him up there with Crosby and Barkov for sure. But yeah, anything pop out to you there, Schmaltzy?
Well, I just want to take that a little bit, what you're saying for a complete player, boys. Sidney Crosby, 33%. At the end of the day, he is still the gold standard, and this is a guy that a lot of his peers and the younger players have so much respect for him still, and the way he can produce. I mean, he obviously had his 20th point per game season this year at 38 years old or whatever he is, 37, 38. But I just think that's just such a tell marker of where he's at and just the respect guys have for Sidney Crosby in the league, and I just think that's so cool because personally, I think the same. I think there's no better player below the dots on each end of the ice still. Unbelievable in the dot, obviously, and just the way he can play and how good he is on the net and just everything, the complete package. And we saw that night in Montreal, that Saturday night, he was buzzing around the Four Nations. So I just think it's just a testament to the respect he has from the guys in the league still at his age.
Yeah, that's well said. The fact that he got in there on face-off, Crosby 28%, the fact that he Ryan O'Reilly 9%, not a boy factor.
Yeah, that's shit.
Way to fucking get in there and win some draws, bud.
Real quick, back to best forward. Did you guys? I just thought this was interesting. The best forward. You have Crosby and Kaprizov there. You're missing guys like Draisaitl, Barkovs, like those of the world. And Kaprizov played how many games did he miss this year? I just thought that was a very interesting one to be in the top 5 there, Kaprizov.
Yeah, he missed the entire second half of the season.
Yeah, and he still got the votes there over, the Draisaitl's, Barkovs, guys like that. I just thought that was a little nod to him from the guys in the league.
I just can't see how more guys, like, for example, Kucherov, that play in the Atlantic Division, that played against Kuch, they're not like, he's better than, I guess McDavid's that good. Right? Like,
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is that.
I mean, Kaprizov, 56 points in 41 games, on pace for 50-odd goals, 110 points.
Like, let me ask you this, boys. If we did any other sport, would the number one be that much more than the number 2 in NFL, NBA?
NFL is tricky because the positions are so different. So you're looking at a scope of like just quarterbacks or receivers, like, this is much different, but I do think if you have to face off in a playoff series and the other team's skating around in warm-ups, who do you not want to see on the ice? I don't want to see Connor McDavid. I do fuck that.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying, is he the best player that much of a better than everyone else in other different sports, right? Like Patty Mahomes in football, would we say is the best player? Who's the best NFL player?
Patty Mahomes,
Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen.
He's in the tournament.
So see, now we have a debate already, like a bigger debate than McKinnon, who is our leading MVP. McKinnon's our reigning Hart Trophy winner. The boys, you got 9% of the vote from the boys in the league. It's like he's not even they're not even close to as good as McDavid.
Yeah.
That to me is crazy. But
Yeah.
I'm not out there trying to chase any of them down, my fat ass, so it doesn't matter. But
No,
I just thought it'd be closer than that. It's a credit to Connor McDavid. Of all the compliments that he gets up and Swishy, that to me, if I was him, would be the biggest.
You're right.
I'd be like, these boys, like, yeah, that's right, boys. I can't wait to see him play playoffs. You see his quote the other day about who's talking about us being the walking wounded? We're ready to go. We're ready to go.
Fucking hell.
That was sick. That was nails. I love that.
Best defenseman, Cale Makar, 71-7 to Quinn Hughes. I think that's probably fair. I mean, Quinn Hughes is fucking so sick too, but that's how good Makar is. Smartest player, I love that being Crosby. Best fashion sense, Pasta and Austin Matthews. And then best ice, Montreal.
And you're going to throw this Lane Hutson in the mix here soon for best defenseman.
God, he's just...
I wish they just changed...
God, he's such an ugly skater, though, but he gets her done.
I wish they changed it. So best defenseman is the Norris Trophy, and then the Bobby Orr is the best offense.
Yeah,
they have
should
to
have
do
to.
that.
Yeah, they should have to.
They have to.
Swishy, do you think Lane Hutson's a bad skater, or is it just me?
He's choppy. You know, he looks like he's just a little bit of chopped liver out there. Like, he gets it done, and his feet are quick. His agility is really good off the blue line, but he's just choppy, Obi. He's like, you know, when you go to Benny Hahn and they start slicing it up.
But yeah, I listen, Ray Bourque, who, by the way, look up Ray Bourque's numbers. I mean, they're insane. They're insane numbers. He said Lane Hutson's the best puck moving defenseman he's ever seen. From Ray Bourque, that's a fucking I
think this kid will get 100 points in the next couple of years. I think he's...
Look at those numbers. 1,600 games played, 1,579 points, plus 527 from Raymond Bourque. Plus 527.
What does he mean by best puck mover?
Yeah.
Like with his feet? Is it with his passing ability? Because, I mean, for efficiency for puck moving, I mean, how do you argue against Nicky Lidstrom? Like, just effortless in terms of just
Nicky Lidstrom, pause, Chris.
letting the puck do the work, Opes. Like, that to me is the most efficient puck mover of all time. Now, what this kid can do with his feet, he gets the Indy 500 going a lot out there on the offensive zone circuit, but
I think
is he a better puck mover than Makar?
No, I was just going to say that. In my opinion, and no disrespect to Ray Bourque, look at his numbers, look at mine.
Yeah.
I just think Makar, if you ask right now who's the best puck, I would say Quinn Hughes is a better puck moving defenseman than Lane Hutson. But I've only watched Montreal the last 2 months. I haven't watched them the entire year. But I have watched them a lot in the last 2 months, and he's good, don't get me wrong, but it looks for him to play the game a lot harder than it looks for Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes to play the game. Like more energy.
Well, boys, we're in an era of these defensemen are so talented. The skating and the passing, it's so crispy, and it's skating that we've never seen before. Who has ever skated like Quinn Hughes or Makar? But what I think Lane Hutson, he's a rookie. This is his first fucking year. He got 60 assists. So, you know, did Cale Makar do that? I don't know. I don't think so. But I just think his skating style is a little bit of a Makar look, like the way these kids are teaching the cross the blue line. Like, you know, it used to be crossover. These guys are being able to push like that fucking 10 and 20 going straight across.
10 and 2.
The 10 and 2.
Yeah.
It's impossible to defend. If I'm a forward going out at him, he can go left or right as quick as he can go straight. That's fucking nuts.
The Habs have been around a long time. He's the first defenseman in Habs history to have 60 apples.
Yeah, he ties Larry Robinson.
Just beat Chelly, I thought it was Chelly.
Yep.
For rookie defenseman.
Makar, 38 assists rookie year.
Rookie defenseman. I thought it was Chelly, but might have
Larry Robinson. Go to rookie defenseman points.
I'll tell you what, though. Remember Cale Makar's first game in the playoffs? Like, this kid came. Where'd he go to school, Swishy?
UMass Slamhurst.
Who did he just tie?
And he came in. Larry Murphy. I used to love Larry Murphy. Tied Hall of Famer Larry Murphy with 60 assists. Brian Leach, Gary Suter. But he beat Chelly for the Canadians all time.
Did he?
Yeah. Chelios, his first year in Montreal, rookie year, 9 goals, 55 apples.
Yeah, so he beat Chelly for that. But remember Larry Murphy? You might be too young for Larry Murphy. Wore 55, slow boots. But you want to talk about a breakout pass. And shout out to my dad, Pitter. He used to always be like, watch Larry Murphy. Watch how he passes. And he was one of the best breakout, slow it down, swishy, like just D to D. Didn't have great feet. Couldn't play now because of the speed of it. But just made an unbelievable tape-to-tape outlet pass. You remember him at all? You're too young for that.
Yeah, I remember not necessarily watching him, but just looking at his numbers, Obes. I think it's like close to 1,600 games. Obviously, 1,000 odd points, whatever he had. And how many cups did he win? Was it 3 or 4? He won
2 in Pitt and 1 in Detroit, didn't he, or something like that?
something like that. Yeah, I think it was at least 3.
Pull up Larry Murphy, but he just wore a big old welding shield too. Throw, see if you can get one here, Kyle.
4 mugs, 2 in Detroit, 2 in Pittsburgh, 1,600 games, 1,200 odd points. Jesus.
Yeah, his numbers.
Never won a Norris, though.
Look at that visor ups.
Yeah, the welding.
That's a tough one. Anytime your visor's so long that it has that thing to go over your mouth, right, so you can breathe, that's when you know your visor's too long, right? When you got to wear, unless you're heater and you lost your eye or something, but like, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, fella. Come on.
Subban used to wear that in the latter half of his career.
You sure did.
He had the welding shield.
You sure did. So, NHLPA players polls, I love it. I would still like to see every GM, all 32, not named, obviously. If you had the first pick right now to start a team, who would you take? I think there'd be a lot of Cale Makars on there. I'd like to see it, but they'll probably all be McDavid going from what the boys are saying about him. But last but not least on our intro here, Updog's got a little question to the NHL or a statement, or he wants his lifetime pass.
Yeah, no, I noticed this guy going to bringing his son to a Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mason Grilly.
Yeah,
Fucking relief pitcher for the Jays.
unbelievable.
Me and Lewis went to the ALCS and I had the Donaldson jersey. He's like, I'm getting a Grilly jersey. He was our fucking like 7th inning reliever. And this is when Loops is playing for the Jays, and everyone that's seen Loops is like, fucking rights, Loops. Nice Grilly jersey. So that's what
I just think, boys, so to touch on it, MLB lifetime pass, 25 years of service in any organization gets you a pass, or 8 years of full paid professional play. I just think the NHL, I think it's a great way to keep past players involved. You want them going to games. They put in a lot of time, sweat, blood, whatever the case may be. But, they offer, you can go up to the ticket counter at any game, show your pass, and you and a guest get the best seats in the house that haven't been sold for that game. I think it's a great thing. I think the NHL should do it. I think it would be great to the old players. I think it'd be also good for the fans to have players sitting in the crowd and ex-players. What do you think? I think it's a good promotional thing. I'm shocked that we don't have it.
I'm all for supporting the alumni. Yeah. Listen, if you want to take, it's probably better for guys like you that have kids, right? Like for me, I don't really want to go to a hockey game. But for you, right, take Beckham or whatever. But if I did want to go, I do think I deserve a lifetime pass. Yeah, I think it's a great call for these ex-players.
Yeah, I just whatever. It's not hard to get tickets either, but it's just cool to have a lifetime pass.
Yeah,
that's like you played in the NHL. You used to have an NHL card to get into clubs. Remember that back in the day? They probably don't have those anymore, do they?
Do they still get NHL cards in the show, Swishy? Do you know? There's Nicky Schmaltz got one.
Yeah, they still got the National League cards, boys.
But how good would this? So say you do have a son.
That would look good in your wallet, right?
Yes, like an NHL lifetime gold card.
Yes.
I think that's it. Come on, NHL.
I love it. It's a sign of respect too. If you've played that many years, 8 years, whatever it would be for the standard for the NHL pass. And Obes, you said maybe you wouldn't want to go to a game, but maybe you're in Nashville and you're like, fuck, I'm pinned at Tootsie's. I want to go across the street.
Yeah.
And you didn't maybe have that day planned, but like, okay, well, yeah, I'm fucking Nashville here. Played 11 years in the league. Let's, grab your gal and let's go across the street for a period. Here, we'll get the best seats in the house that they have available. I just think that's a really big tip in the cap, or a feather in the cap for guys that played and paying homage or paying it forward to the guys that came before the current players, and you have that option just in case you want it, just to exercise that right. Yeah, this is I love this league.
Great call by Nashville, because if there was a spot that I was getting drunk and I could just, stumble across the street to Bridgestone and go to a game, Nashville would be the spot. I would text Brandon Walker, but if I had the lifetime pass, I'd just walk in.
And how cool would it be? You used to get a jacket. The NHLPA would send you a fucking jacket.
400 games.
400 games, you get a jacket.
Pitter's got it.
But imagine, like, after your 8th season, in the mail with a nice box, comes like a nice leather padded fucking gold lifetime NHL pass, and you go, fucking rights. This is great. I'm going to, I'll pass this on to my kid one day. He'll be able to look at it, lifetime pass from this old man, like something like that. It's cool.
Definitely a great keepsake.
Great keepsake.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, Bettman. I don't know if he listens to Missin Curfew or not.
How hard would this be to do? It would not be
That's
hard
something, if you seem pretty passionate about it, I would talk to Glenn Healy.
Yeah. Well,
I would reach out
to the PA and be like, come on, Shad.
Healy's with the alumni. Not the PA. The alumni, I think, is where you want to go to that for Glenn Healy. I'm sure the PA could help you out too, but Glenn, sure Glenn would look into that for you. He's doing great stuff with the alumni.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
Come on, Glenny.
Let's do it, baby. Lifetime pass for the boys. That's all we're asking for. We'll be right back here at Missin Curfew.
Comes with free beers.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. It's the playoff preview presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Fuck, fellas, I got to be honest. Like, playoffs have snuck up. They've snuck up on me this year. I don't know what it is, but like, I do remember last year going into playoffs, I was kind of like so ready for it, and I was just like a month left in the season. I don't know if it was because of the Four Nations and that, but it snuck up on me here. But
what's here, fella?
I can't wait, boys. I mean, the first round, when you live on the West Coast, 4:00, the first games start, and then you get the triple hitter or whatever. Some nights there's 4 games, and you get the late one, and you're watching hockey on the West Coast from 4 p.m. switch you to 10 p.m. at night. The first round is my favorite. The boys come out, as we all know, you're so excited to play, right? Ups, like, you're just like, I remember, we started against St. Louis in Vancouver, and I got the start, and, first thing I said, don't take a penalty, but, first pass came to Brad Winchesterton, and I just stood up and fucking, gave a pretty good hit, and the place went crazy. Like, you just want to get that first hit and get engaged in the series. So, guys are fresh for the most part. The first round, these boys, they play their balls off.
Yeah, it's what it is war on ice. It comes out, the boys come out hot. It's the best round to watch. Everyone non-hockey or that hasn't been engaged in the season all of a sudden has been watching it going, fuck, hockey's the best. These guys are warriors. It really brings out the best in hockey players. You want to go in healthy, boys, although not many guys are, because, getting out of the first round where there's only 8 teams left and you can almost smell, the Stanley Cup out of the first round, it says a lot, but boy, it fucking...
You can always smell that shit.
You just get beat down, boys. Yeah, it's a good hustle.
The promo videos, the first round of just sitting on the couch, the pump-up highlight packages, everything you see. And I love even if you got 2 TVs going or you got the iPad going, and all of a sudden you flip over and, oh my God, like, what's going on in the Sunshine State Fuckfest, as Uppy coined it back in the day. Like, some guy just getting their head taken off, a guy gets decapitated, then you go flip it over to, say, Montreal and Washington, and Caulfield scores a sick PP goal at home at the Bell Center. So it's nuts, fellas. It's the best time. The pace of play just ramps up. Like, the skate, it's like another level of, like, you don't even think these guys can move that fast. The crispiness, the simplicity of the game too is what I love. Or it's just pucks in, pucks out. Get the cycle game going. Everyone finishing. It's guys playing a different way that they haven't all year. It's the best time of year. I'm fired up. My blood is boiling over here just thinking about it.
Yeah, I love it. Love it, fella. And I will say I don't think I have to say it to the veteran refs, Wes McCauley, who's that beauty, Kelly Sutherland, who I absolutely love. Yep. I'm talking to the young refs. Let the boys play here. Don't come out here in the first round because it's the only round you're going to get to ref and try to be a hero. Because if you do that, you're going to piss off the big Obes, all right? Like, the boys have worked 82 games to get here. If it's a penalty, call it. If it's not, let the boys fucking play. You know what I mean? I'm just like, put the whistles away if it's a scoring chance, fine. Other than that, let the boys play.
Well, there's so many games, boys, so all the refs are basically included. If you don't get punched, into the NHL playoffs and you're a referee in the NHL, you had a rough year.
Yeah,
you had a rough.
You're like the fucking Buffalo Sabres.
You're eating popcorn upstairs and you're fucking watching the game from up top. But no, there's so many refs. Just try to make the calls as they come. Don't be looking to change the games and swing favored both ways. Let the players decide this. Let the war unfold as it should. Put the meatheads in the box if they're fucking around, right? Like, it's just there'll be a lot of storylines. Don't be one of them, referees, right?
Who do you think the best official in the league is? Is it Wes McCauley? We got Steve Kazari. We got...
Is Steve Kazari still out there?
WHL Steve
Kazari. Fuck, he called a lot of minors on me, that fucker. I don't mind Steve, but
at least have him in Kamloops, buddy. Fucking all.
Anytime I saw his name on the game notes when I'm taking a dump before the game or whatever, I'm like, oh boy, this guy. He liked to call me for a hook or hold or. I'm not going to say Steve. I'm going to say Kelly Sutherland and Wes McCauley are. Paul Dvorsky was my favorite ref. Devo back in the day, he was my favorite ref, but he's no longer. But I would say those 2 veteran guys are the best.
Yeah. Chris Bruni's pretty good too, number 5. He's pretty solid.
There's Paul Dvorsky. He was a beauty.
I like Sutherland.
Kelly's awesome. Robbie Schick was great.
Dan O'Rourke.
Dan O'Rourke. Go to Dan O'Rourke. He's still out there, right? I'm not a huge Dan O'Rourke fan. If it's this guy called way too many penalties on me. I'm not a fan of him. Billy McCurry, old school. Look at the linesman Ray
Where's my Boston guy?
Ray Scampanella.
What's
you're
his
talking.
Is that Hazy's?
Yeah.
What's
Keep scrolling down. When I see his name, I'll know it.
Yeah.
Cody Beach,
Chris Rooney.
Chris Rooney.
Yeah. Chris
Thank you, Obes.
number 5.
Historically, I'm not a huge Chris Rooney fan, if you believe it or not. I thought, listen, I was in the box my whole fucking career. The refs to me were. I liked Wes. I liked Paul. I liked Kelly Sutherland. I liked Tim Peel. Got drunk with Peeler a ton. I didn't mind Justin St. Pierre because at least you could tell him to fuck off. You'd be fuck you, and he'd be like fuck off.
Yeah,
and then you'd be like, hey, fuck, sorry, bud. Like I like the refs that you can give it to a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was chirping. Looking back, I wish I didn't chirp refs as much as I did.
No, me too.
You know,
but Billy McCurry taught me my lesson. I told you that story. I'm not gonna tell it again.
We get so worked up.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're such pain. Like they're painful at times.
Because it's a bad look too. I didn't really watch much video, but when you're chirping at the refs a lot, and you're on camera, it's not perfect.
No,
I don't think.
No, it's not perfect. How about when I was just waving the white towel in the penalty box? Was that perfect in Chicago?
Well, that's better. Was that in playoffs?
Yeah.
White towel.
White towel. I was like, fuck, I surrender. I mean, holy fuck, boys.
Oh, was that clip of you way back in the early Missin Curfew days telling the story about Wes McCulley, the little trim on the road? That's an all-time clip.
Yeah. I said, why are you so grumpy? Oh, I've been on the road for 10 days. I fucking missed my wife. I'm fucking horny. I'm fucking miserable. Leave me alone. I go, well, you can take care of that on the road if you want. He's like, I love my wife. I would never do that. I'm like, okay.
He was probably mic'd up.
Yeah. Let the boys play. Anyways, boys, playoff preview presented by DraftKings. We'll start out west here because we're all living on the West Coast. You don't have to give me your picks right now. We're going to put them out Saturday on the Missin Curfew social. I have an idea who I like. But up, dog, out west, what series jumps out to you the most there? Which one are you intrigued? Which one are you going to watch? I think I know. But dive into what ones are intriguing.
I'll share 2, Obes. Listen. The hottest team in the league coming out of the gate, Four Nations Cup, St. Louis Blues. Robert Thomas had an incredible season again, back-to-back, I think 60 assists. He's playing extremely well. They got Colton Parayko back in the lineup. I love their D-core. Cam Fowler's really changed the dynamic of that team. They've got a lot of youth that has penetrated the lineup. So listen, at plus 155 in this against the Winnipeg Jets, no Ehlers. The Winnipeg Jets been the best team in the NHL all year. The goaltending is obviously, impeccable. But I would tickle the St. Louis Blues to give these guys a run. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk by no means, but that's a battle to be had. The Shen brothers, the battle of the Shen brothers. So I don't know if you want to tag that.
Would they ever fight? Would they ever fight each other?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. But I like that series because of obviously my ex-Blues was just in the city a couple weeks ago. The city's been buzzing for Blues hockey again. And then, we're going to go to a game this week, but my Edmonton Oilers, I fucking, this is the year that if they can just stay healthy, come out strong again. This is the 5th year in a row that they're going to play the LA Kings and kick the shit out of them. So, yeah.
No, I know.
Hey, 5 years in a row.
Yeah, Swishy, I'll jump in just on the LA Kings Edmonton series. I think the Oilers are the biggest question mark right now. Like, is Evander Kane playing game 1?
No.
What the fuck is going on with Draisaitl? Like, McDavid played last night in San Jose. Draisaitl, like, how banged up is Draisaitl? What's going on with Kane? Where's Klingberg? I just don't know what to expect. What I do expect, if I was Chris Knobloch and the coaching staff, I would be like 80s Oilers, like Gretz said. I would say, let's go. Skinner, sorry, buddy, but we're going to try to win these games 6-5 because I don't think LA can keep up scoring with them. Now, if LA can get them into a low-scoring kind of playoff style, which is exactly what they're going to try to do, I think the LA Kings could win the series. I still believe in McDavid and Draisaitl, Swishy. If they're healthy, they're not going to be able to slow them down enough. I believe it's going to be a high-scoring series, and I believe if the Oilers have any chance, that's how they got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you can you just can't bet against two of the best players in the world. I think if they're both going to go. So I like your train of thought there, Obi. I'm going to slide it over to this other series, the Mikko Rantanen Bowl over here with Colorado and Dallas. And I don't know, man. Like Dallas, to me, we touched on it a little bit last episode, but I just think they're stumbling in. This is an episode of, the song Chris Norman and Susie Quattro, a little stumbling in. Great tune, by the way, but no Miro Heiskanen, banged up a little bit. The back end, I think, is going to be the key deciding factor on Dallas. Is that I don't think they're going to be able to match or play with that speed and that intensity wave after wave when Colorado hops over those boards. So I think this could be an old school shit kicking. I got that one. I'm not going to give away my prediction right now, but I think that could be maybe 5 games, that one. I just think Colorado, the way they're going, Dallas, I don't like how they've limped into the finish line, Obes. I feel for our boy, I guess now, William Quinn.
Yeah, I was going to say Billy Quinn. Billy Quinn is one of the biggest Jay Swish fans going. You bagged on Dallas earlier in the week on the pod, and now you bagged on him again. So you might not be flying Eric Quinn anytime soon, fella. He might make you get on the old Southwest bird. But I hear what you're saying, and all your points are
No Robertson.
Got
Seguin back in the lineup, but
so Swishy, what you're saying is I woke up this morning and checked the odds on DraftKings, and it started off, the first odds that came out, I believe, before the Robertson news was Colorado minus 115, Dallas minus 105. It's now moved to Colorado minus 140.
Yeah.
On DraftKings.
Well, even with Robertson, we'll see if he's going to play, if he's going to play banged up. I just think, man, the speed and just the wave after wave Colorado can come over those boards. If Miles Wood is healthy, Ross Colton's a pit bull. They have a lot of good pieces there, man, in their middle six. And then you add, obviously, at the trade deadline, Brock Nelson through the guts of the ice and Charlie Coyle. Fuck, man, this is a well-oiled machine. And I just don't like what Dallas has looked like over the last couple of weeks. Oh, it's you want to be feeling good going into playoffs. You want to have good mojo. I know it's a new season, but that still stays with you a little bit. Fuck, we haven't been great lately.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. The old saying, you can't just turn it on and turn it off, right? You can't just be playing shitty going in, and then it's game one. You're like, okay, boys, we're gonna be flying on all cylinders. You want to be going in feeling good. The thing about the Avalanche, and this is no secret, obviously, is we talked about Landeskog earlier in the week. What kind of Landy are we going to get? Does he play every game? Is he going to be as effective or 85% of effective as he was? If we get Gabriel Landeskog as Gabriel Landeskog, this team to me is the favorite. I mean, if you throw Landeskog in on this top 6 forward and you can bump Duran down or bump whoever down with McKinnon, Nelson, Coyle, Drury down the middle, that's as good as it gets down the pipe. Their back end, Vegas is probably have a better back end. The Blues probably have a better back end, but their back end is good enough with Makar and Taves. To me, it's Landeskog, man. What is, I'm taking, I can say it here, I'm taking the Avalanche. Everyone's not surprised by that, but to me, Ups, fuck, I just wish I could see the future and see what Landy's going to do. And I hope to God he's the player he was before to a certain degree with 2 years off. You know what I mean?
I still think they can win without Landy. I still think they can.
The Cup or the series?
No, the series.
The series, yeah. The Cup, no.
So, yeah, but if you get the goaltending, I think the deciding factor in this series will be if Ottinger can stand on his head, which he's proven he can in the playoffs. This guy steps up to occasions. He's never out of a save. You guys know what that's like when you play a goalie that's just fucking. He gives up a rebound, but it's fucking right in his glove the next shot. This is the way this guy plays. He's a competitor. If he stands on his head, Dallas has a chance, I think.
Yeah.
And Manson's going to be back, right?
Yeah.
Don't sleep on him either, man. He's good. He's a really good player. And it sounds like by all reports, Obes, that Bednar might be leaning towards bringing Landeskog back for game 3 versus game 1. So maybe start him,
at home.
Yes, exactly. Give him those first couple days, to get back into the swing of things. That's not official yet, but that's what I'm hearing out of Colorado.
That's the People's Insider there. Yeah. Now, listen, this back end, Taves Makar, Sammy Girard, Josh Manson, Eric Johnson, and Ryan Lindgren. And I remember when the Lindgren trade happened for Calvin DeHaan, some people were like, oh, Lindgren sucks. I'm like, well, let's just see how this trade plans out. Calvin DeHaan didn't play the last, 20 games for the Rangers?
Yeah.
And Lindgren's a beast. So, it was, for you mutants out there, you know who you are, who were chirping me about that. It was a great trade by McFarland. So it's going to be a great series. I think that one, I'm leaning towards the Avs, or I got my heart on the Avs. Last but not least in the West, I can say this today on Missin Curfew. Vegas in 5. I'm going to slam Vegas in this series. Minus 205 on DraftKings. Listen, I love Billy Guerin. I think, the Wild's got great fans. Their back end, to me, I got some issues, Swishy.
Yeah, it's not perfect. And that you're going to see that Zeev Buium, who played at Denver for David Carl this year, had another great campaign at Denver, a sophomore. He'll be inserted into that back end. I believe he's going to play on that third pair with Zach Bogosian, but man, it's thin back there. Kaprizov coming off injury. I mean, going into the chin of Vegas and playing these guys. Minnie, you might want to just book your bender, boys. Where we have Cabo, Pinehurst, we could do both. We have a long off season. They're just outmatched in every facet of the game, Obes. It's not been a terrible season in Minnie, but Vegas, it's just a different monster.
Yeah, they're lucky they banked as many points at the start of the year, right? What'd they start, like 15-5 the start of the year? They would have missed. So this guy coming in that you talked about, that's going to slide Johnny Merrill out of the lineup, which I think he's a good, serviceable defenseman, as you would say. But Bogosian, I'm never going to chirp him. Guy's a warrior. Milden, Spurgeon, Brodeen, Faber. I just don't think, we'll see what Kirill the Thrill can do, but I just don't see them generating enough offense against Vegas' back end to do any damage. So I love Vegas in that series, boys. Princey put in here. This is Princey. Calgary Flames missed by 2 points. And they had the most OT losses in the league with 14 OT losses.
Well, and what I would say to Mark Prince, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenade, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
More points than a few teams on the East, too, that made it.
Yeah, well, the West has been a better conference all year long. So the Wild West, it's going to take a lot to get through that gauntlet. I can't wait to watch it, boys. Moving out East, let's start with the Battle of Ontario. I'm not ready to say my pick just yet. I know who I'm leaning towards, but as an Ontario boy, I grew up a diehard Leafs fan. I love that the Battle of Alberta is going to be back, but Princey's been doing a hell of a job putting up social posts of what the Battle of Alberta used to be. It ain't going to be that, all right? Unfortunately, I wish it could have been. I wish Darcy Tucker, Shane Corson, Gary Roberts, Greener, who's coaching Ottawa, Greener, Ty Domi, Stumpy Thomas back in the day. Those guys aren't playing. But I think it's good for hockey, and I think it's going to be a competitive series. I really do.
Do you think that it can get into that? If Ottawa has a chance in this, Obes,
Ottawa has a great chance.
How do they have to play the game? Just the way Toronto played? They got to muck it up?
I got two, names. Brady
got to muck it up.
Tkachuk.
Well, and
is a fucking menace and a problem in this series. Yeah. He is a real problem.
But
he's playing tonight. We'll see. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt tonight again. I think their goaltending with Allmark is good enough. The thing that scares me about the Sens is their back end. I don't know if they got enough back there to, Chabot and Sanderson are going to play a lot of minutes. But I don't, that scares me. But I think the Sens up front are grittier, have just as much depth. And like I said, Swishy, Brady Tkachuk fella.
Yeah, and there's another guy, a Belleville product, and hopefully he's going to be back in the lineup.
Yeah, he's back.
Nick Cousins is a guy that will disrupt the game. He'll go in there and be a rat. He'll get the skill guys on Toronto off their game. Like, that's another guy that's like just, you add that piece, and it's the game within the game. And if he can kind of be just a shit disturber, and even if David Perron can kind of bring a little bit of that sandpaper grit that he has too, like, they're going to have to play just that style of hockey. They're going to have to grease it up, muck it up against these guys, get in their face, sticky glove, all of that after the whistle. And they got a real shot here, man, especially with Brady Tkachuk leading the way.
Yeah, and obviously he's got to not take penalties, but he didn't take penalties in the Four Nations. But when I look at the back end here, it's big time favors the Leafs, right?
Yep.
Tanev, Morgan Riley, Brandon Carlo, Ulrich and Larson. They're the Leafs back end, and it's funny, for years we've been saying their back end's not good enough, but when I look at their back end here compared to Ottawa, that could be the difference in the series, And Max Pacioretty, I don't know if he's coming back, but McCabe, Larson, Morgan Riley, Brandon Carlisle, Tanev, that's a good back end, and that for playoffs, that end up could be the difference in the series. But I just got to say again, boys, Brady Tkachuk.
Can Stolars continue his realm?
Who's going to do anything to Brady out? Like, I know it's not about fighting, and I just who's going to slow him down? Like,
What? No, it is about fighting with Brady. He's going to fucking go. If they're down, say first game in Toronto, they're down 4-1 with 3 minutes to go. He's going to fucking start punching someone in the head, isn't he? Yeah, he will. Because he plays with such emotion, and it's his first playoff game. If his team loses, he's going to think, this is how I got to beat these guys. I got to fucking beat one of them up.
Yeah.
Who's that going to be? It could be anybody. It could be Nylander. It could be fucking Knives. He can go grab Knives and pound him.
Yeah. Or just grab John Tavares and beat the bag off of him. He's not going to grab Matthews because they're American brothers, but maybe just grab Tavares and beat the wheels off of him.
He might do something stupid out there, yeah.
Do we see Ryan Reeves at all in this series?
No.
Let's say Brady's let's say Brady goes in. Let's say they split at home. They split in Toronto and Brady runs around for 2 games and they're going into Ottawa. Does Craig Berube say, hey, Revo, come in here and try to calm this guy down, or that doesn't even matter?
I think you do see him.
Yeah. I would love to see him.
I think you see him. I think this could turn into a little dogfight. I hope it does.
Battle of Ontario.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait. I'm not going to give up my pick, but I think people can maybe see where I'm leaning towards there. But Carolina Hurricanes, I'm going to slam the Hurricanes. Kyle, are you worried at all about the Devils? I'm hammering the Hurricanes at minus 245 on DraftKings.
I'm worried that you're hammering them, but things could go.
It's not my fault they can't score, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I do like the Canes. I like the Canes a lot. Dougie Hamilton coming back is going to help New Jersey. If Markey can stand on his head, maybe they got a chance, but they're kind of limping in like some of these teams in the West. So yeah, Canes all the way, baby. I cannot wait for game 1.
Yeah, it's going to be great. The Caniacs are great fans too, right? Like, this isn't a sexy series on paper because, it is what it is, but they got great fans. The Caniacs are great. I wish Jack Hughes was playing. It'd be a better series with him in there. We'll see. Markey could steal that series for them and really stick it up my you-know-what. So, Markey, good luck, buddy. But
the Caniacs are already in the parking lot, boys. They're already tailgating. They love it.
They got fucking brats going. You name it.
Yeah.
Beers, blue lights, get it going. As Updog said, Swishy, the Sunshine State Fuck Fest. If you need a t-shirt, go to Sauce Hockey and grab yourself a tarp on there. From what I've heard coming out of South Florida, I haven't talked to him personally. This is just from some sources that I've talked to down there in Florida. We're not going to see Chucky at the start of the first round, and probably not at all for the first round, is from what I've heard from some guys that are close to the team there. Barkey hasn't been playing. I don't know if he'll be back. I'm leaning towards Tampa. I think Connor Geeky, a kid they just called up, we're going to get to him and get this guy Labatt Blue. I just like the Yanni Gord pickup. I don't know. I'm leaning towards
your pick.
I'm leaning towards Tampa unless I get some. Fuck, they don't start till Tuesday, so they can go on a little mini bender there in Florida and then come back. If I don't get I got to see the lineup for Florida, but I'm leaning towards Tampa.
Isn't it nuts that either Tampa Bay or Florida, so a representation of the Sunshine Fuck Fest, has made it to the Stanley Cup final in the last 5 years? It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's nuts. Talk about how diverse hockey has become down here in the South. I like Tampa. I like the goaltending. I like the D. I like their additions at the deadline. I think they play good fucking run and gun hockey, and they can also tighten it up. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give my pick yet either. I am an alumni. So we'll talk about that on the weekend.
Yeah, no. So you don't know. You're leaning Panthers. I can feel you're leaning Panthers.
It's gonna be a bloodbath, boys. It always is. Spirited bout, cage match going across the Everglades, Florida, the entire state, full of a bunch of fucking criminals. That's exactly what's going to translate to the ice. I expect high flying, dirty hits, snowing the goalie. But how do you bet against our boy John Cooper? I'm going to give my pick right now. I got Tampa in 7. I'm throwing the house on that. Not a big better over here, but I'm going to throw some scratch on that because I do love Coop, and I want Tampa Bay to get through the fuck fest. So, going with our boy Coop. Got Tampa in 7. I think they're going to get it done. I worry about their right side a little defensively, but I think other facets and other aspects of their game that can make up for that. I love how J.J. Moser's skating right now on that left side. So, you know what? And they got Vasi. So they got the best goalie in the league. I like them moving forward.
That's a great scouting report. You have reason to be concerned about their right side. I think if you ask Coop man to man, he would say that as well. And I'm with you. It's more fun with John Cooper and then Lightning in the playoffs. And yeah, like you said, big 88 in between the pipes. It's going to be a great series. They don't start till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Lightning play tonight. get pinned tonight, get pinned day drunk tomorrow, dinner, practice Saturday, not even practice Saturday. Come in for a light stretch Saturday, ride the bike, have a steamer cold tub. Sunday practice, Monday practice, Tuesday optional skate. Don't go out there. Let's go. What a schedule.
Yeah, it's a good schedule. Yeah. What's that steakhouse down there?
Burns,
yeah.
good wine cellar there.
Yeah.
Oh, how about Hagel, too? 35 strengths goals. Crazy
Listen,
record.
crazy. Another guy I love come playoff time is Big Nick Paul. I love his game kind playoff time. So, and listen, they've been there. They got 2 cups. And I just think, before we move on, sorry, boys, what I talked about Gabriel Landeskog to the Colorado Avalanche, I think Matty Tkachuk is that important to the Florida Panthers. Like, I know they got Bennett and Barkey still. I think Ecky's out, right? Rhino should be back. But I just think when you take Matty Tkachuk out of that dressing room, off the power play, off the bench, he's a big reason to me. Yeah. You miss the glue. So we'll see. And you know what, Chucky, I hope we see you, buddy. Even if I take Tampa, I hope we see it because the playoffs are better with him. Last but not least, in our playoff preview presented by DraftKings, Capital -330 against Marty St. Louis and the Canadians. I'm going to get to Marty and get this guy a beer, but great for them to get in. But who do you guys like in that one?
I don't even want to take that. I watched Washington play down the stretch a lot. Obviously, I think everyone did. I love their team, good veteran guys. I think the biggest surprise in the league this year was how well they played. But Montreal, they could come in with this young goalie and just kind of sting them with something. I don't know if I'm going to play this bet, but I expect it to be a good series.
I think the Canadians are a good value bet in this one. I think they're a good value bet, Swishy.
I just think, boys, and I don't know anything, and I don't know what's going on inside that Washington Capitals locker room, but it just seems to me, and it just feels like they already had their win for the season. They got Ovi to that number of 895, and now it's like, okay, do we sit back and relax? Maybe not to the point of, just kicking the feet up, but I think Montreal, like Uppy said, I think they can come in and sting them. I got Montreal on 7 in this one. I think that's the one where I'm looking at wow, I think they could get through Washington, and I don't know how it's going to shake out. I don't know why I think that, but that's what my chin is leaning towards, Montreal.
Yeah, I would say what you said about Washington with the Ovi thing, I would say Montreal, the same thing. Like, they got in. No one thought they're going to get in. They were last place, I think, up till Christmas time. They may take it wow, we're finally in. And before you know it, they're down 2-0 heading back to the Bell Center. I cannot wait to see playoff hockey back at the Bell Center. Updog, you've lived it firsthand and spoiled the party there at the Bell Center. It's going to be great. Princey's been rolling out great stuff about that. The star players for the Canadians, besides Slafkovsky, to me, and Josh Anderson, but I'm talking about Caulfield and Suzuki. Love them. Gallagher, undersized. I just think the size of the Washington Capitals, their depth on the back end, I don't know. It's going to be a real tough series for Montreal, but their power play at home is lethal, and we'll see. But it's a feather in their cap either way. So playoffs are here. I like it, Swishy. Swishy's got some underdogs. I like that fella. But before we wrap up our DraftKings segment here, the lock of the night's over. Hell of a run, boys. Good job,
boys. Congrats.
The Missin Curfew squad. This is all that matters. On the year, we were 48-27. So we were officially making you money on DraftKings Sportsbook. To DraftKings, the company. Sorry, fellas. Hopefully we didn't, break the bank on you here. But, boys, great job. 48-27. I know it's only one game a week, and we did pick lots of winners, but
there you go.
Pretty good, bud.
I'm glad I battled back. I was under 500 for a while, but 11-9, that's a winning season in the NFL. I'll take that.
Yeah, Swishy, your last game was a loss, but other than that, you were just seeing the ball well, fella.
I know. St. Louis lost to Seattle in a shootout. It was a dagger.
It stings, especially that shootout.
I know.
Doesn't that sting?
There she goes. But yeah, solid season, boy. If you were taking the locks of the night, you won some scratch.
Yeah, good on you, boys. Always gamble responsibly, but get some skin in the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. Get the Sky Labatt Blue. Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your seat, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com. All right, boys, let's dish these babies quick here. Get this guy Labatt Blue. Connor Geeky just got recalled. 2 goals in 2 games for Tampa. I talked about them being undersized. They need some size. I think this kid's going to get an opportunity. I don't know if he's going to start the series, but I do believe Connor Geeky is going to be important for the Tampa Bay Lightning moving forward in the playoffs. And then going to Montreal to my boy, Marty St. Louis. Get yourself a Labatt Blue fella. Marty's overcome everything in his career. And earlier in the year, they were chirping him. And Marty said, I love it. I love it. Fuel off this stuff. And turn their season around. No one gave them a chance to make the playoffs. They're in the dance. Marty, I love you. You're a great fucking teammate and a great coach. Get yourself a Labatt Blue, Swishy. I love Marty St. Louis. And the Habs are in, baby.
Martin St. Louis. And you know what? A little cool little tidbit, a little nugget I saw online is he's been rocking his lucky tie. A lucky tie came from a former teammate in Tampa Bay. It was Brad Richards. So it sounded like Richie might have wanted that tie back, but now Marty St. Louis going to still rock that thing, buzzing into the playoffs. But yeah, those quads, those
Big
set of
quads.
hands, the yellow energy.
I'll never forget when I got traded to Tampa. I walked in, and first time I saw Marty St. Louis, and he wore fucking nut hugger gits too. Like, right, he knew that he had to. I looked at his quads and I was like, wow, like.
That's
National
crazy,
League.
right?
What is he doing that I'm not doing, right? Or probably a lot.
We had a great quote this week where it just said, like, why would I care what these people say when I would never ask them
for advice
about
for advice? Why would I care what your opinion is when I would never ask you for advice?
He's like, so I could care less what these people say, right?
It was a perfect guy to bring in for Kent Hughes, who's his former agent. It was just a great fit. And to Marty, man, good on you. Everything he touches is great. Swishy, you want a dish of beer, fella?
Yeah, I'm just going to give one to Austin Matthews, Scottsdale's finest, 400 career bunks, ahead of schedule in terms of Ovechkin. He scored it in terms of his age. Last episode, Obes, you were having some doubts. You don't think Matthews can maybe pass Ovi someday, but I'm on the other side of things. I think, he's battled some injuries. You can't sugarcoat that, but he can get on the other side of these injuries. The way I've seen he takes care of his body, just the cutting edge training he does. I think he's not only going to, get there someday, but the next few seasons, he's really going to heat up again. So I just think Matthews, he's got a lot of game left, hopes, and don't sleep on him because I know that's a number that should be respected, but if there's one guy that can do it, it's AM34.
Yeah, when I saw that 400, I was like, fuck, but he's only, right? He's already breathing down Ovi's neck, so to speak, a little bit. It's crazy. He's got 400 already. So good on you, Austin Matthews. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. Moving on, boys. It's milk carton time. I'm throwing a couple guys on the milk carton. I jumped on the Flames bandwagon halfway through the year, and Lucas Dostal was standing on his head the other night against Minnesota. Minnesota should have been up 4 or 5-1. It's 2-1, empty net, and Uppy's old buddy, Ratty Gudis, has the puck on his stick. And I'm sitting on my couch watching it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 3.5. And he fucking hangs onto it and flips it back out to the neutral zone where he should have just went cross ice to the fucking winger who was there in an empty netter. They come back down. I question who Greg Cronin had on the ice at the time too. There were some young guys on the ice. I get it, but booyah, the poor Flames, their season went over. So Gudis, you're on the milk carton, buddy. Make a fucking play. And then last but not least here, boys, it's the Jagger Iciest Shot of the night. Presented by Jagermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jagermeister. Damn, that's cold. For more information, visit Jagermeister.com. Always drink responsibly. Boys, we're going to go back to Tampa here. Yanni Gourde with the old wounded duck to Braden Point. And booyah, posting in. Damn, that's cold. That's the Jagger Iciest Shot of the night. Great little play by Yanni Gourde here to get it over. But this shot, Swishy, I mean, wow, posted in. Braden Point is a weapon. He loves playoff time. The Lightning are going to go somewhere. This is the guy, but what a shot. Damn, that's cold. I'm going to do my shot right here, actually. Here's to you.
Cheers, boys.
Here's to you, Braden Point. Watch this little spink. Oh, damn, that's cold.
Swiss, cheddar, which one's better? Cheddar is always better. Holy shit, I'm just watching it right now. But that lunar sauce pass,
I like those jerseys.
Yanni Gourde was unbelievable. How about Seth Jones on that play, turning it like a 747 now?
Yeah.
God.
You know what?
Perfect.
His boots aren't perfect, Seth Jones, by the way. What a shot. That is just such a sick shot. I mean, for a guy who's only got 13 career goals, I saw that one. I'm like, that's Jagger. Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's posting in,
That's
baby.
pulling it back, messed up.
Yeah, kind of inside the ladies' tees, too. Watch where he rips this from. He's almost in the fucking corner. Look at it. Look where he is.
Perfect shot. No goalie saving that.
Right?
Right at the dot, right at the nipple.
It's unbelievable. Well, boys, J Swiss, up dog, thank you, boys.
That
Always
was-
fun snapping it around with you. Masters recap. We got a great guest, Graham DeLaet, good Saskatchewan boy, was on the grounds at Augusta all week working for TSN. Guys, played the course, played on the tour. He's a beauty, friend of the show. Graham DeLaet coming up next. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog, Jay Swish, friend of the show, Flames fan. So I hope he's doing okay here, and has become one of my hockey betting buddies here through the course of the season here. A guy I've become pretty close with, and he's always great to Missin Curfew. Former PGA Tour star, doing great things with TSN now. Graham DeLaet, fella, how we doing?
I'm good. Yeah. Star, I don't know about that, but I played out there for a while.
Hey, you were a Stardust, buddy. You put Canada on the map. Weirsy than you. We're like, we used to follow you. You were a Stardust, boys. Playing anytime. There's more Canadian guys now, but when you were playing, it wasn't many guys out there from back home that were.
And by the way, this crew right here, we've all had our day, but you've had a shining day on the tour, buddy. You gotta enjoy that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a good run. It was fun.
Such a hard game too, huh?
Oh,
dude, I'm getting geared up for our member guest here, right? I'm playing with Loops. Up, he's playing with John Elway. A little flex there. He's bringing in a Hall of Famer. But I texted Loops last week. I said, for once, there's some hope in my game. Well, Grambo, the hope is gone a week later, man. It happens that quickly, doesn't it?
It's unreal. Like Justin Thomas shot 61 a day. Who knows what happens tomorrow? It's tough to back it up.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you before we dive into Masters stuff here. We had Keegan Bradley on, I believe before maybe the Masters last year or U.S. Open. It doesn't matter. And I was just talking about how golf is hard physically on my back. When I play golf, it hurts me. And I asked him how physically it was for him. He said it was more of a mental grind. When you were on tour, was it more of a mental battle for you than a physical battle, or kind of a combo of both?
Well, unfortunately for me, I had a lot of back injuries. I had 2 surgeries, 2011, 2017. And then I just recently last year had a neck surgery. So physically, it was always tough on me. I don't know why. It was just like I did everything I could, and they're like doing physio, working out, trainer, the whole thing. But for whatever reason, it was never meant to be for me physically. But yeah, mentally, it's tough as well. I mean, when you're playing good, the game's easy. It's fun. You just cruise from week to week and use cash checks. But it's definitely, you miss like 4 or 5 cuts in a row, you start questioning your existence. And only out there on the road, and it can wear on you when you're playing poorly for sure.
Oh, I bet. Was it gradual back pain, buddy, or was it something that, like, as a kid you tweaked it doing something, or maybe the grind to, like, the Canadian tour, riding those long rides, getting out and fucking cracking balls. But what going back, like, was
in all honesty, like when I was 15, when I was playing hockey as a kid, like in between periods, I was like laying on the floor and stretching my back, and as a 15-year-old, that's not normal.
No.
You had to be like 30, you're doing that in the dressing room, maybe after a beer league game. But so like I just always kind of dealt with it, and it was just kind of off and on. And then as I kind of got older, it just became more on, unfortunately.
It's crazy because we've got lucky enough to know Freddie over the years, and Freddie's been dealing with a bad back his whole career, and he's got the easiest, smoothest swing in the world. So it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at some of the guys, like, that Joaquin Niemann, bend and everything in his back. I don't know if you guys, then his head drops down. I'm like, it looks like he's got about 2 years left in his body.
Grambo, I wanted to ask you, I play more tennis these days than golf, but the one thing about golf I love is just the imagination and the different shots you can hit on the course where, different guys see things differently. Like, did you ever have a favorite shot in your bag where you'd have to bring it out from time to time, whether it was a hooded 4-iron or a little pinch stuff butter cut with a pitching wedge? Like, what was your favorite shot? You'd be like, okay, wow, I can't wait to hit this big swooping southern draw or something like that. Like, what was your favorite shot?
When we were playing Canadian Tour, we named it, we call it Dutch Peeler. It's just you tee it low. You hit just like a low screaming cut, started down the left side and just kind of peel it back. Keep it under the trees. Let it go. Of course, like Hill Net, it's perfect. Hit Dutch peelers around there all the time.
The old
I'll practice that shot this week.
Yeah, you might need it if the wind picks up.
That's a good ball in Sask, too, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Wind.
Yeah.
Dutch peeler.
Is that how you learned it growing up, playing in Saskatchewan in the wind, or something you just learned in college and into the pro?
I grew up in the wind for sure. And I grew up, there was a place, it was 9 holes until I was maybe like 13 or 14, with these old turtle back greens, heavy winds, small. So like the greens were small, but then they were even smaller because everything rolled off the edges. And so it was always like kind of, controlling your spin, controlling your trajectory or whatever. So like when I did turn professional and everything, I think it helped benefit. It's like you're always like a product of where you came from. And like that was always like I never liked playing the wind because I played in the wind every single day of my life growing up. But when it pumped on tour, it was better for me because I was used to it. I had the shots, and that's where I felt like more comfortable, and I could separate myself a little bit from a ball striking standpoint on guys. But man, I'd rather play in Palm Springs with no wind though. Let's get
no kidding, right? The old Bob Hope Classic, eh, Grandpa?
Oh yeah, it's a dome.
Grandma, Missin Curfew, we got a lot of Canadian listeners up here, but what was like the secret, Saskatchewan, you as a young golfer coming through, waiting for the snow to melt this time of year, getting out, the driving range opens first, temp greens open, after that. But how did you kind of find like your groove and your game growing up, where there's snow and shit half the year, and then, getting an opportunity to come down and compete with the American kids who get to play in Palm Springs and Florida all the time?
Yeah, in all honesty, I tell people this all the time. I thought I had such a good balance. Like I literally played like 6 months of hockey, 6 months of golf pretty much every year. As soon as, golf season was ending, it was starting to get cold. You're just getting ready for, to start hockey tryouts or whatever it was. And then as soon as the snow started melting, hockey season was coming to an end, you get excited about playing some golf. And it was never one sport all the time like, all these kids are doing now. I mean, I think you see the talent, it probably helps it's beneficial for these kids to play just one sport. I don't know, but I just always thought I was just well-rounded, and I was always excited to play, when October came around to play hockey and when spring came around to play golf. And I think that's one thing that's really missing with a lot of these kids. But we didn't like play indoors or anything, the simulators or anything like that wasn't there. I mean, you could go hit balls into a net in your dad's buddy's basement or whatever, but you're not seeing anything. I mean, the ball's going 6 feet and then hitting the net. Back in those days.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be painful just hitting into a net. Like, that would test you mentally if you're like, fuck me, I got to hold out a bucket here to hit the net.
Yeah, but guys do it.
No, I know.
You have to get, you just want to have a club in your hand. You can only play hockey so much as a Canadian when you're growing up.
Yeah.
Man, I miss golf. You get that itch. And now like, I'm thinking about my hometown, the river's starting to break, and that's like the sign where everyone's like, oh, the course is opening up, right? Like they're just all fired up.
Then it snows next week. You're like, fuck, boys, course is closed again. Course is closed
Back
again.
to the net.
Yeah, you didn't have the same setup that your son has in your backyard in Boise, do you? That setup you showed me, he's National League.
He's pretty spoiled. Yeah, this sport court in for him. He's on his rollerblades, firing pucks pretty much every day, so it's fun. But same thing though, like his hockey season just ended. He's got some 3-on-3 half ice hockey that he plays throughout the summer, just kind of more for fun. But he's getting ready. He's playing flag football now and golf, and I just want to make sure that he's playing everything. I mean, look, you guys know that the chance of making it to the top in anything is pretty much 0%. So I just want him to be fun and have fun, be a kid, and if you can excel at anything, great. And if not, then just have fun.
Yeah, 100%. Gramble, let's dive into the Masters. It was an unbelievable week last week. It's all of our favorite week of the year. I got a few Master questions for you here. I'm a golf nerd when it comes to stuff like this, but for a guy who's never been there, Uppy's been there one time, but I hear a lot about these practice rounds. I guess either as a player or as a fan, would you recommend ever going in and taking in these practice rounds? And how fun are they for these players, the practice rounds of being out there with your boys and maybe have a little money on it and just before the pressure of the tournament sets in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think as a fan, it's probably better on the practice rounds. I think, guys are a little bit more open to chit chat or laugh or sign autographs or whatever. You can't sign Thursday through Sunday on the golf course. But yeah, and as a player, I mean, like I played 18 with Mike Weir, I think on a Tuesday, which was awesome. Obviously, past champion. He was like a hero of mine growing up. So that was pretty neat. And then I'd played the President's Cup the year before that in 2013. I played the 14 Masters. It was the only one that I played. But so I played a practice round with Charles Schwartzel, Louis Oosthuizen, and Ernie Els and myself. And so that was kind of fun. It was like all the boys and, money games and that kind of thing. And it's a special place, man. Like I've been lucky enough now the last 5 years to cover for TSN. And that's a job I would never turn down as long as it's like, if they keep giving it to me.
Yeah, right. That's got to be, yeah, exactly. You want to work Masters Week? Yeah, sure. I can slide in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I want to parlay the practice rounds into the par 3 contest. Listen, I got 2 nephews. I love them to death. Porter and Smith. They're meatheads. I love them, but I don't have kids. So I haven't experienced what Uppy has. I haven't experienced what you have. I think the par 3 contest has gone too far, bro. I mean, there's too many girlfriends hitting shots. There's 900 kids. Am I wrong? And as a player or ex-player, what does the par 3 mean to these guys? Does anyone give a fuck, or is it just let my girlfriend hit this shot and I'll carry the bag? Because that's what it feels like it is to me now.
It's funny you say that because I said the exact same things to the TSN guys. It's like, not that it's not enjoyable to watch because it's cute. Like the kids are having fun and you can see that the guys are, and like maybe they just need that little wind down before the tournament really ramps up. But, there's no one's ever won the par 3 and the tournament. That historically it's never happened. And like, it became like a bit of a curse, I think. And I don't know if people believe that, but I mean, when I played, I was trying to win. There's no question. I'm like, shit, this might be the only time I get here. You think I'm going to just half-ass it and let my wife put a shot on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, that's the answer I was hoping for, Gramble. Thank you.
Gramble, give me the feeling for you now, like covering the game at Augusta when you go in, like the feeling from when you played to now. Do you still feel the butterflies? The sounds are the same, the smells are the same. The fact that you just don't have a club in your hand might be different, but, do you feel the nerves that these guys all face when you go in to cover like a weekend like Augusta?
That's a special week. Yeah, like, I mean, normal week in and week out, there's nothing, all the majors are cool, but Masters it's different. There's no question. As soon as you step in and it's like, you stand by that first scoreboard, for anyone who's there, like where the scoreboard is on one where the merch tent is there. I sometimes will just stand there and watch people walk in for the first time. They look down and they like touch the grass and then they pull it and they smell it because they don't even think it's real. It looks like artificial turf. It's incredible. And so like seeing people's reactions to that is pretty fun. But it's funny, like as a player, and it might be the same for you guys. I'm not sure you don't really realize how cool it is when you're in the arena and doing it every day and week in and week out for year and year and year. And then all of a sudden now I'm on the outside looking in and like you're walking around the ropes and you hear people say like, oh, that's so-and-so, or, oh, maybe he'll give me a ball or whatever. And you like realize the impact that those guys are making and how cool it is and special. But I wouldn't say I didn't appreciate playing because I definitely did. I knew that it was a pretty cool opportunity, but you don't realize how big it kind of is until you kind of get onto the other side of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Rambo, I wanted to ask you, now we saw the news with the amateur out of ASU that took a piss in raid street. So I wanted to ask you, maybe those first couple of days when you were bombing around as a player, did you ever take your wrench out over an amen quarter maybe and just, oh, fuck, it feels pretty good to piss here? Because as you know, and especially a good Sasky guy, it's similar to Wisconsin, there's nothing better than just taking a piss outside. You're oaring in the wind. Like, have that moment at all, or is that something you haven't done?
Actually, fun, like when we were at Torrey Pines, my rookie year, so it was like my third or fourth event. We're playing the North Course, which is like, there's not many fans and everything out there. And we got to a kind of a little corner of the golf course. I told my caddy, I had like this old South African guy, veteran caddy. I was like, his name was Basil. I'm like, Basil, what? I got to take a piss. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? There hadn't been like a portage on because it's kind of like the secondary golf course. He's like, oh, just go piss behind the tree. I'm like, okay. So I went because I had to go. I came back. He's like, and I'm like still like on Canadian tour budget at this time. Like I haven't really graduated into like making money or anything. I was like, what would have happened if I would have gotten caught? He's like, oh, you would have gotten fined. I'm like, fine? Like how much? He goes, oh, I don't know. It's like $2,500. I'm like, $2,500?
Come on, Basil. Fuck, bud.
Exactly. But he's like, well, you got to piss. You can't play good golf. You can't make birdies if you got to piss. So anyways.
No, you can't. But
Cora, that's a flex.
Yeah,
that's a flex, eh? That's a flex.
What was like the story going around there, like internally? Was it like shocking that the guy actually did that?
I think the funny part too was that that he basically said I'd do it again, or he was
yeah. He's like, yeah, if I had to do it again, if you got to go, you got to go. And like you said, you can't make birdies if you got to piss. But I thought there'd be more like repercussion. Is that the right word for him? Yeah, like he kind of got away with it.
I know it'd be interesting to see because a lot of stuff that they do there is, you'll get letters or whatever. Like even like from the coverage standpoint with TSN, it's like there's a lot of rules, things that you can and can't say. No taking pictures on set and posting anything until I think the week after. But like during coverage, it's like they're very strict. Yeah. So I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a little bit of blowback personally for him, but they didn't publicize it.
Yeah, what a way to go down, though, eh? Yeah. You allowed to play the Masters? No, I pissed in Race Creek. I'm suspended for life.
That's the only time.
Yeah, I think they suspended me for life, boys. I can't do it anymore.
Not exactly a Gaza Ranch. Yeah, Discovery.
Yeah. Comfort station. We're the comfort stations out here. Hey, I think we can all agree it's nice pissing outside, especially on the golf course. And number 8 for me at Pebble, Grambo. I'm usually down the right side looking for my flared 5-wood or 7-wood that I hit. And I always take the time there to just piss over the cliff and look down. Like this, I hope this isn't frowned upon, but that's a good spot to, if you got to take a leak.
The wind's not coming in off the bay though.
True. Good point. I'll remember that next time. But Grambo, I wanted to ask you, I had my money on Rory on DraftKings. I was all in on him, so it worked out well for me. But we were recording on the Thursday, and he was cruising around nicely, and I think he's 3 or 4 under, and I'm like, this is great, right? Because notoriously, he gets off to a bad start shooting 72, which he shot. And behind the green on 15, Akshay Bahada, who I know a little bit, took forever with the drop and all that. But how hard is that shot back there on 15? Like, can you not putt that? Can you not chunk and run it? Or is it like back there? How tough is it, I guess?
It is difficult. The one thing too that that was a new green this year. They and I didn't even know this. They didn't even really make that public, but so it was a new surface. So it was a little bit firmer. And I don't know if you noticed, like a lot of the second shots that were coming in there were taking big hops there, where in like years past, there was landing a lot more softly. So that's one part. But putting that's pretty difficult because you got to go through quite a bit of fringe. And then as soon as it gets up on top, she just screams away from you. So, I mean, you have to pretty much commit. And in all honesty, like I think Rory he just mishit it. Like, I mean, he knows that you can't hit that in the water. Like, you can't get aggressive with that shot. It's not hard to like leave yourself 15 feet above the hole.
Yeah.
I guess is the answer. You know what I mean? Which is like, I mean, Scheckler played a couple groups behind him. It's exactly what he did. It was like, it didn't look like a great shot, but he got out of there with a 5, limited the disaster. And then when that happened, then the other crazy thing with Rory there is he went around to the other side and dropped. He could have actually replayed it from, I don't know what he was thinking. Unless he just didn't want to have that shot again. I don't know. But to me, like, I think that shot from behind the green is still easier than the wedge shot from the other side of the water.
So for tour guys, like in the National League, you know, we call like a pizza turnover down the middle, or like on a scale of 1 to 10 or whatever. I know it's the Masters, but how bad of a shot is that for you tour guys? Like that's a pretty bad shot, no?
It's bad, but it can happen. I mean, he wasn't the only guy, you know, like it was a bad shot, but the thing, look, when you're playing that well, and he's been around there so many times, he knows that that's like, it's one of those shots that just faster than it looks every single time. I'm speaking from like playing that golf course like 4 times, but he's been around there so many times, he should know.
Yeah, I'm going to continue with Rory here. I got a few more for you on Rory. On Sunday, he laid up on 13. Like, listen, his wedge game has improved, Grambo, but I thought, why take the fastball away? Like, I know he's got some scar tissue, a little hooky, on 13 back in the day, but like, should he not have just ripped his driver and then ripped something in the back bunker? I know it's an easy wedge shot, but what did you think about him laying up? Right away, I'm like, what are you doing, fella? Your game is to bomb it. Go.
Yeah, I can see either way. I mean, I think if you play devil's advocate and you say that if you want to say that he played it properly, I mean, it is an easy wedge shot. I mean, you got to backstop him beside. The worst you're ever going to make from there is 5. Obviously not, because he made double, or did he make bogey?
He made double. He made 7. He fucking
Rory
O'Brien the wedge right in the creek there, and then I think he made a 3-jack or something.
Shot was so bad. Like, I mean, he could sit there and hit thousands of golf balls and never do that again. I mean, that's like once in a while you come out of a wedge, but like on a shot like that, you just when you have so much room and help in from the left and behind, I mean, it just can't happen. And then it's at that point you're like, holy shit, he's losing this again. Like, how is this happening? Because he just built, I think, a 5 shot lead.
4 shots up, I think.
I was like, what? Like, this can't happen again. And you can just see the emotion. You can see the wheels turning inside his head too. He's like, holy fuck, I've given this away again. Like,
yeah. He's like, not again. How am I going to explain this one to the fucking media? I'm going to fire up the helicopter. Get me out of here. Pick me up on 18 green and get me out of here, because I thought he lost it too. And Grambo, you kind of teed me up obviously before I turn it back over to you. Yeah. He choked it away. I got to give him credit. He showed some balls, right? And you would probably agree as an ex-guy that was out there and actually played in the tournament. But that 7-iron he hits on 15. First of all, how stymied are you there? And where is he look like? The shot was unbelievable, but like, is he literally looking right of the grandstands and just trusting it? Or what's it like over there left behind those trees on 15?
Well, I don't hit as far as he did, so I've never been down there that far. But I mean, there's a pretty good look there from behind. And I think he was probably trying to hit that, started at the right edge of that bunker. And the thing is, when you do turn one down and hit that power draw, you know that the ball is going to fly. as long as you hit it solid, the ball's going to fly. Like you're never going to leave it short when you're turning one down like that. So he was probably saying, a worst case scenario, I'm in the right bunker, which is not a terrible place to be. If this thing does turn over, I could probably hit this pretty close. And it was probably the perfect number. Like sometimes like the things just line up, like days where you go out and shoot 62. It seems like you just always have a perfect 8-iron or a perfect little 7-iron here. Like, and then the days where it's tough, you're always in between clubs. And I think that was one of those ones where he was just like, man, if this thing does turn over, it's going to be so perfect. And if not, I'm just right at the green. And, I can get it up and down for birdie from there.
Or if I block it, I'm in someone's pimento sandwich. I was eating this like a pimento sandwich.
Watch out for your sando, boys. I need a drop over here.
Hey, Grambo.
That's good insight, Grambo. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So since you were on tour, like Rory McIlroy, I think he's 35 years old. He's been PGA's golden child, right? He's been on the stretch for this Grand Slam for 14 years, 15 years, and he finally gets it. But what, that feeling for a player on tour, the emotions and the failure in the past, like, have you ever seen in your career or the past for golf, have you ever seen a player have so much, like, just pressure on him to win one tournament? Have you experienced that, or maybe from just your golf experience before?
The only thing that I think is kind of similar is when Phil Mickelson was struggling so much to win the U.S. Open. Remember he made that double at Winged Foot?
Yeah.
Just fucking puked it away there. Like, that's the only thing that it's like, but like that golf, the U.S. Open is never really built for Phil. And like, he knew that. And it's like, you seen him at Shinnecock that one time where he hit the moving ball. He was all pissed off. Like, his game just wasn't really suited. How good he was, he still almost won it how many times. But yeah, I think everybody in the golf world, whether they're Rory McIlroy fans, like hardcore fans, or just like fans of golf, I think we're just happy to see it, because now with the weight off his sholders, shit, man, he could go on a runner here.
Yeah.
Like, he really could. Like, he's already got the players and this, like the two biggest tournaments of the year. Does he knock off another major? He's got Quail Hollow, the PGA, where he's got like unbelievable history. He's got Royal Portrush, basically his hometown, for the Open Championship. I mean, like, this could be a historic year.
Yeah, he loves Quail Hollow. But you talk about Mickelson at Winged Foot, our favorite show, Entourage, there's a quote in there. Ari's like, holy fuck, he's melting down like Mickelson at Winged Foot. I remember watching that being like, somebody tackled this guy, right? He hit driver and blocked it like I would. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. But like no other sport do you have to play against yourself in moments like that, right? It's just so in between your ears, and everything just starts, your heart gets going. Like, what is that feeling? Is it your hands? Is it your heart? Is it your, what? I just want to escape.
Gramble, Uppy had that feeling back in the day when we first retired. We were playing the hammer game. He's on 12. He's like, this putt's worth like, he's like, I can't feel my arms. I'm like, you shouldn't hammer him then, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, but yeah, the hands get a little clammy. Your heart is going a million miles an hour. The breathing is, it's a little bit quick or whatever. And I mean, everyone has their ways of calming yourself down, deep breaths, close your eyes, roll back your shoulders, whatever it is, hold your head high. Like, there's different things that you learn throughout your career on like how to control that, but it's there no matter what. Like, every single player, no matter how well they deal with it, feels it.
Yeah. You know what's funny is Rory always wears that whoop strap, right? For tournaments, and some tournaments actually put his heart rate out there so you could see. I would have loved to see him down the stretch at the Masters.
Man. Off the charts, man. Off the fucking. He should have taken that thing off. He's lucky the ambulance didn't come and pick him up. He started beeping. He's like, this guy's about to have a jammer.
Yeah.
He was in one, man. Him and me both.
Yeah, Grambo, I wanted to ask you, first off, I want to show you what I got here. I got a Saskatchewan Rough Riders 2-4 Pilsner jersey.
How good is that?
This was gifted to me by a couple of guys I played with at North Dakota, Rhett Gardner and Colton Sanderson, both Moose Jaw natives. So
nice.
I was doing my pre-scout on you today, and I saw that you were born in Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And a good friend of mine, friend of the show, Jay Onright, always tells me about the legendary KFC buffet in Weyburn, Sask. So, have you ever been the KFC buffet in Weyburn? When's the last time you were there? I mean, I've heard the spread is unbelievable.
I don't know. They still have the all you can eat, but I think it was the last one in Canada, or the only one in Canada, or whatever it was at the time, that had all you can eat fried chicken there. But I have been there. It's been a minute. All my family now lives up in Northern Saskatchewan, so when I do go home, I'm up in Saskatoon area or whatever. But so I'm not sure if that KFC is still going, if it's still At least I'm sure it's still there. I don't know if they're still just giving chicken away like they used to.
Like a KFC was. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. So when I Jay Onray told me that, I was dying laughing, man. I was like, no way, that is so fitting.
Oh,
It's funny, man. When you like the Saskatchewan, every single tournament I went to, there was Riders fans, people wearing Riders jersey. Didn't matter if it was Palm Springs or Florida or Columbus, Ohio, wherever it was. So we're in Kuala Lumpur this one time. It is fucking hot. It's like 100 degrees, 100% humidity. Nobody, including the players, wants to be out there. We get to we haven't seen fans in like 3 holes. We get to like the 13th, kind of climb up this hill, and I see 2 people standing at these green jerseys on. And I said to my caddy, I'm like, no fucking way. We walk up close, and it's like, I'm like, where are you guys from? They're like, we're from Regina. What are you doing here? Oh, it is like, seriously, it's 140 degrees outside. Like, oh, we're here for work, but we come. And I'm like, you just traveled with your jerseys? We take them everywhere. Crazy, those Riders fans.
Oh, they're nuts, man. Shout out to Sheldon Brookbank, Lane Brookbank. They used to tell like when I put like Riders fans, and I never went to a game, but I went to Toontown with him a couple times, and I remember them talking about Bohemian beer. They're like, oh, you got to come to Saskatchewan, drink it warm. He's like, they're better warm. I'm like, no way, they're better warm. He's like, fuck, all right, here, have one cold. So I had my first one cold, and then he's like, go to the garage and grab one now. It was in the summertime. And I'm like, fuck, that is better warm, boys. How did you guys figure this out? Like, told you, bud, that's the Sask way. Just drink it fucking warm. I'm like, you guys are beauties here. And I only went to Stoley's tournament once with Saskatoon. I caught the very last year. I wish I would have caught a few more years of that, but that was always a fun tournament.
So I played hockey with him growing up. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, he was so like next level. We're in Pee Wee. We had like a little league in Southern Saskatchewan or whatever. And I think I was like second or third in the league in scoring next to this guy in Estevan. We had like, call it 60 points through 30 games, whatever it was. Stoley had like 140. It was like not even close.
Yeah.
He was in
Canada, man. He's an absolute. He was FI. Yeah, he still is a stud. But like Memorial Cup, World Juniors, everything. Yeah, AHL
Did damage off good damage off the ice too.
Oh man,
Where was Stoley? Stoley's Melville, Saskatchewan.
York did. Hey, by the way, Swishy, you teed me up. Saskatchewan has the best names for towns of any province in Canada, man. Like Billy Bank used to tell me where the guys were from. I'm like, what's the name of that town? Flint.
climax.
Climax.
Where's Billy from? Billy's from fucking
There's
Lanigan? Lanigan, Saskatchewan?
Again,
Lanigan. Yeah. Lanigan, Saskatchewan.
Kelly Chase is from Porcupine Plain, Saskatchewan.
yeah.
That's a great one. Plenty, Saskatchewan, where Kelly McCrimmon's from. Those are all-time names.
Yeah. We drove from Saskatchewan to Sylvan Lake in Alberta, me and Billy, with probably a couple cases of Bohemian. And when we got on the highway in Saskatchewan, I'm like, I think I could see Alberta out. Like, that's how flat. I'm like, fuck, this is flat, fella. Listen, I could talk Saskatchewan all day with you, but I got a couple more Masters questions here for you, fella. Listen, I'm a Bryson DeChambeau fan. I'm actually a Live Tour golf fan. I like to watch it. I think what Bryson's doing on YouTube is great. His ability to scramble his way around Augusta for 3 days was incredible. But I didn't like how he was complaining about Rory not talking to him. Listen, I get it. If I was playing with you and the Updog and Swishy, we'd probably talk. But when it comes to the Masters, like, do you have to say nice shot, Gramble, or is not talking to him being the biggest prick in the world?
Well, I wouldn't talk to him. You can put that on record.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
This is a good story. I don't know if you've heard when Tony Finau was paired with Tiger in 2019 in the final round when Tiger went on to win. He hadn't really talked to him much in like the first 6 holes. They were walking down the 7th and kind of like the opportunity presented itself. And Tony's like, hey, Tiger, how's it going? Like, how are the kids or how's the family or whatever he said. He said Tiger looked at him. He said, they're good. And then he turned his face and just kind of walked down. He didn't talk to him the rest of the day.
Yeah.
That's Tiger Woods. I mean, he's focused on what he needed to do. So, I don't really see a problem with it. And it's like, I'm not a Live guy.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a Bryson guy. So it's fine for me.
So go ahead.
No, I just want to say, compare it to hockey. It's like playing off in the playoffs, not looking at each other in warm-ups and saying, yo, what's up, bud?
Yeah.
You just you're with your team, you're against them, and they're your fucking enemy, right?
Yeah, like, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, obviously, Rory and Bryson, there's some tension there from what, Live and PGA. But, like, just in general, if it was Rory and, I don't know, Tony Finau, for example, like, if Rory didn't talk to him the whole round, like, on a Sunday at Augusta, that's understandable, is it not, Gramble?
Yeah, it would be. And I feel like he probably would have, like, at least small talk, first maybe 4 or 5 holes. Or, there's a stretch, like the first couple holes, everyone's just kind of trying to get their feet wet sort of thing. And then there's like kind of that 2 through 6 where you have be a little bit talkative or whatever. And then especially like, I mean, in the hunt of a major, I mean, what are you going to say to a guy? You're trying to beat him. Like,
Exactly.
you're not telling him good shot because you don't want him to hit good shots, like in all honesty.
Grambo, listen, buddy, let's talk a little hockey. Thank you for answering those Masters questions for us, buddy. We appreciate it. You're a big-time Flames fan. I think to this day you're the only guy that has an O'Brien 55 Flames jersey, so thank you for that, brother. But
Worked to the game in Seattle with my boy there last year. It was awesome. Actually, a couple guys came up to me. They're like, fella.
That's awesome. But listen, your Flames, they hung tough, man. Unfortunately, they're out. But what did you think? I mean, it must have been fun. I liked watching them play this year. I gave them no – listen, I was one of the guys, Graham, at the start of the year saying these guys are going to be a top 5 pick. I didn't believe in them. They proved me wrong. And then halfway through the year, I loved watching them play because they competed hard.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of had them as like a lottery pick team at the start of the year. And obviously, I mean, this Dustin Wolf, he could kick. It was unbelievable, the run that he kind of made, especially in the last half of the season. Kadri was unreal. I mean, Huberdeau was awesome again this year. He's kind of back to like, I mean, fuck, the way he was moving the puck. He was shooting a lot more this year, scored a bunch of goals. Uyghur on the back end was awesome. I mean, it was like a fun run to watch and all, even though it ended the way that it did. I feel like they just kind of ran out of time. And that fucking Blues team, I mean, give me a break. Like, the run that they went on, nobody saw coming. And actually, you were the one, Obi, that told me, you're like, man, they're going to, the Wild, they're going to catch the Wild, not the Blues. That was when there was like a week or two left in the season, and that didn't even like cross my mind. And it was close. But yeah, I thought it was cool too with Conroy making that move to get Farabee and Frost from Philly just to give the boys a chance, kind of reward them for playing well. And even though now we're just kind of in the same place, though, stuck in that mediocrity, getting that 15, 16 pick. And that's been for like 10, 15 years, man. You can't like make a move. Unfortunately, but it was fun to watch. Like you said, I'm a big Flames fan. I'm not a guy that thinks they're going to win the Stanley Cup every year. I'd love to see them play in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, and you know what? You got to give those, because I bet you Connie had a plan at the start of the year of what you said, Grambo, right? We'll get a top 5 pick or whatever, and the boys just started playing hard and forced his hand. And I give Connie credit for making that move to bring in Farabee and Frost. Because as ex-players, when you're in the hunt and you bring in 2 legit National Leaguers, it fuels your dressing room like, you're like, fuck, they believe in us, let's go. So I'm with you. I thought that was a great move by Connie, even though they came up short. You know,
Grambo.
And who this Klapka guy came out of nowhere.
Guy's a mutant, isn't he? Guy's a mutant with his neck guard on out there. But yeah, he's fucking getting it done, isn't he?
Unbelievable. I never even heard of him up until like 2 weeks or 2 months ago. I don't know. It was crazy, but.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be in that first line kind of all next year, but he played a role there late in the season.
He's got a little natures to him, just a big doofy.
He's big.
Yeah.
He's like 6'7" monster. His neck guard's bigger than him though. This thing's up in here. I'm like, that's got to be hot out there at the Saddle Dome. No,
that's not a good look. So it's like wearing tall socks with shorts going out Colton with the boys. Yeah, it's not perfect. Grambo, I guess just playoff time right now around the corner. I know you're a big hockey guy. Do you have like a favorite now going in? Have you broke down like the West at all? Is Edmonton gonna, get healthy and make this chaos, or how many?
I mean, they'd be scary, obviously. My son, this like kills me because my dad was a big Maple Leafs fan, and I always hated the Leafs. But he bought my son like an Austin Matthews T-shirt, like when he was like 3 years old. He's a diehard Leafs fan, so I got a soft spot for my boy now. So maybe I'll kind of cheer for those Leafs out east. But man, Colorado looks good. I wouldn't want to play them right now if they can get some goaltending. Out west. I don't know. Like, I feel like everyone's the same way about Winnipeg. You're like, are they this good? But Hellebuyck's unbelievable. But can they go on an actual run? It just like they don't seem like the team that can, but they just keep winning.
I know. It's wide open for the first time in, I think, the last 2 or 3 years where it's like all those teams you just said could win. Like, if you're sitting in Mini right now, you're like, we just won the President's Trophy and we got the St. Louis Blues coming in here on Saturday night to play us. It's like, fuck off. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's how hard it is to get the dance. And then once you're in, it's up for grabs, obviously. But I don't know how long you're going to be cheering for the Leafs though, fella. I think Brady Tkachuk is going to be an absolute menace out there. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Ottawa, but
I love the Battle of Ottawa or Battle of Ontario is back though. Like, how good is that?
That's all. It's not going to be like, I got these people in Ontario being like, I'm like, listen, there's no Darcy Tucker out there. There's no Gary Roberts. There's no Shane Corson.
Greener.
Yeah, Greener. Like, let's calm down. Like, who the Leafs got? Domi. Anyone else? Who else they got? Revo. If Revo plays.
Yeah. Didn't they have Chief back then too? Did Toronto have
They had Ty Domi.
Yeah.
Fucking. Yeah. But Ottawa had Chris Neal. The Big Earn, Chris Phillips, like there's not going to be, but it's nice to see Grambo. The last one before I turn over to Swish's last one, buddy, we've been texted and putting some friendly wagers on hockey, teaming up. We've had a pretty good run, but explain to our fucking listeners what a full creamer is and how you came up with the name. It's unbelievable. The name's great. It's all great. Where did the full creamer come from, fella?
Oh, it's actually funny how it all circles back. Is the guy that we kind of came up with it is a guy that Uppy knows. He was his captain in Kamloops is Keegan McAvoy, who's a good buddy of mine out of Saskatoon.
Oh, what a beauty that guy was. Yeah.
Oh, he's the best. He's a weapon. But we had like a little text group, kind of same thing, and it was like the full creamer or the cream pie or the full cream or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. It's basically eggs, meat basket, you're all in. And you take a favorite, usually a heavy favorite, and you give your nuts a squeeze and you just lay. Honey, you take them to win first period, you take them to win the money line, you take them to win in regulation, you take them to win the puck line, and then you take them over whatever it is, usually like 3.5 goals. You're all in. There's 5 different bets, and doesn't matter what your units are, whether it's $50 a bet or 200 to win 200, whatever it is, 500, you're exposed.
You are fully exposed.
You all of them, yeah.
You are fully exposed.
But you never feel comfortable. But when they hit and you get the full creamer and you win everything, it's unbelievable. And the nice thing about it too is sometimes they'll score 4 and they'll only win 4-3. So you get the over, you get the regulation, you get the money line, but you lose the other 2. So like, a lot of times it kind of equals out. You're sort of in the middle, but when you cream it, there's nothing better.
Yeah, we've been creaming it lately, but earlier in the year we had Tampa on a full creamer. We got out of a fucking burning building. I think it was Tampa or maybe
Chicago.
Yeah. Who was playing Chicago then? Was it Tampa, Chicago?
I think it was Tampa, Chicago, and they were like minus
400 or something it was. And like we didn't get the first period. We ended up getting the money line and regulation and maybe over team goals. So we got out of a burning building. You text me or I text you like, whew, thank God. And the best is when you give the updates. Like if the first period hits, you'll be like, check. And then at the end, it's just like full creamer, check, check, check. And then they'll have like
you got it. It's just superstition. That's how we always did it too. It's like if you do it once and it works, you got to keep doing it. You know what ruined us though is when Uppy called it a full steamer.
Yeah. He's calling it a full steamer. He's like, boys, take it on this full steamer.
That's what I get in the morning. So we're going to the Sassart.
I'm like, Grandma, we can't let him in just yet. We got to wait till we cool off here a bit. But plus he called it a steamer and it's a creamer.
Yeah, last question, Grandpa. I just wanted to ask you, I mean, you've played tracks all over the world. You've played private, public, but for a public course that, a pigeon like myself could play or anyone listening, what would you say your favorite public track you've ever played? Pebble?
Pebble. I mean, if I'm paying for golf, that's where you go. You got to play it once. If you've never played it, I mean, that's a must. I'm trying to think what other. I mean, like Torrey's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not Pebble. I mean, Pebble Beach, and then not only Pebble, we play Pebble, Spy, Spanish Bay, all that. If you can somehow sneak out to some of those other places there, Monterey or Cyprus, obviously. But yeah, Pebble, even like for me, like non-public. I mean, private included. I mean, that place is special.
Spyglass is pure too. That back nine at Spyglass is fucking hard. God damn, I was there a couple months ago. Oh, it's so long. I hit that drive pretty good. I'm like, what do I got? He's like, 214 front edge. I'm like, huh? What do you mean 214? I'm like, 7 wood. But that Spyglass is nasty. What about Beth Page in New York for a public track? Because that one's just...
Cool. I think it's too hard. I wouldn't waste your time or money to go there. I mean, I've only played the black course, which is, the tough one, obviously. But I don't really know. I've heard you talk too about Innisbrook in Tampa. That's like one of the sneakiest, most undercover best golf courses. I mean, when we played, it's always in good shape. I don't know what it's like, but the routing there, and it's like you got to hit quality shots. I love that. That was like one of my favorite under the radar golf tournaments that we ever played was there in Innisbrook.
Yeah, I used to play the Copperhead course a lot when I played for the Lightning. It's just a long drive home after the round, eh?
Yeah, they got some good Greek food up there too in that area. Lots of Greek.
Yeah, TPC Tampa's another good public track. Jay Swish, I text you on the team. That's a good little. They used to have
sawgrass too. If you get out into sawgrass, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I've never played sawgrass either.
Oh, me neither. Oh. Grandma, do you have a boys trip from like the Sasky boys? Do you do a golf trip?
Yeah.
And where have you gone? Like, you gone to Bandon Dunes before? Any of those tracks?
Well, the first one we did was actually last year. We went to Ireland. So I've been southwest of Ireland. Like that was my 6th time. I used to always go there before I played the Open Championship, play some links golf for like a week or 3 or 4 days or whatever. And I got to know these guys at Doonbeg. It's a Trump property there. And so we played like 6 golf courses there, but it was our first one. So like I was playing full time. The last thing I wanted to do on a week off was go on a golf trip. So like I had never done it before this year. And then this September, we're doing Whistler. We're doing like 4 courses out there in September. So it's the start of our annual trip, and it was the Tillers versus the Harvesters. We got the win.
They say every guy needs 4 golf trips a year with his buddy.
You say that, and you say that. Well, he's about to have another kid, so that's going to go down to 3 golf trips here. Everything he has, he's losing the golf.
Congrats, man.
He used to have 6 golf trips. Now he's going to be down to 3.
Yeah, I'll try.
But
lose 1 per kid.
1 per kid, he loses the golf trip, the poor bastard. But hey, Grambo, we went to Ireland for our 40th. Shout out to William Billy Quinn. What courses did you play? Waterville? Did you play Tralee? Did you play Old Head?
Waterville, Tralee, Lahinch, Doonbeg. We were supposed to get on Old Head, but we actually got rained out, so we played a place called Duke's, which was really cool.
Hogshead? Hogshead at all?
We never played Ballybunion.
No.
How sick is Ballybunion? Nasty?
It's cool, yeah. There's a couple kind of weird holes out there, but it's like I just love I played a lot of Scottish golf too. Like to me, if you're doing a trip, like the history, is in Scotland. If you want to play like the courses that all the Open Championships play, but it's flat there, little pod bunkers, just whatever. It's like Ireland to me that's my favorite place in the world to play golf. Big old rolling dunes, pumping and fucking raining sideways. Then like the sun comes out, the wind drops. It's like so pure. You shed all your clothes. It's awesome. Yeah. So it's the best. The people in Ireland are my.
The caddies were. I mean, I loved it over there. So we go to Tralee. We're staying at Hogshead. So we jump in. Billy Quinn gets a helicopter for the boys. Little flex there. We get to Tralee. It's blowing 40, Granville. So we get on the first tee, and Loops is like, "We're not playing in this, are we?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think we got to play in this, buddy. This is why we came here. This is why we came here." So I had this old caddy, old Mo. He was 88-year-old Irish guy. We get to number 7, I believe, 7 or 8, and I'm slashing at Granville, and he goes, "Shane, laddie, you're better than this, son. You're better than this." I'm like, "Old Mo, I don't think I fucking am." He's like, "Listen, laddie, she's 135 on the ground. She's playing 165 in the air. You hit her at the left side of that green, and you let the wind take her over." I'm like, "All right, Old Mo, sounds good, buddy." And Granville, I hit this fucking little pinchy 8-iron, the only good shot I hit all day. And right where Old Mo said, and those Irish gods brought her over. And if it didn't hit the back, fucking roll in, and boom, hole in one. Me and Uppy throw our fucking shit. My hat goes flying over there. Yeah, Old Mo, first hole in one he ever seen. He's 88 years old. He was smoking unfiltered cigarettes. But I got one for Old Mo at Tralee. Number 8.
On his 40th.
What was it on?
Number 8, par 3.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and you know what I almost did? I go to tee up number 9, and Loops is like, I got the ball on the tee. And Loops is like, hey, that's your hole in one ball. I'm like, oh yeah, good call. Put it in my bag. That drive, hit it right in the fucking Irish Sea or whatever it was. So that ball would have been gone.
I mean, look at Mo.
Yeah.
Here. You'll be able to see him. He's fucking 1 foot in it, boys.
Hey, Uppy had to make a diving play, Derek Jeter style, to get somebody's clubs. Old Mo let him roll. They're going over the cliff. Uppy had to jump and grab him because of the wind.
Yeah.
The canoes over there are awesome. That's part of the enjoyment of those.
Yeah. It was awesome. Grambo, buddy, thank you very much. You're great to Missin Curfew, my man. Thank you for stopping by. And let's try to tee it up this summer somewhere, eh?
Yeah, let's do it. Are you guys going up to Gosler? I got to tell Wiz to give me the invite. I want to play that member guest again. We won it last time. I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah. I know we went up last year for the one in June, the Revelry, and then they got the Bull Rush in August. So maybe we get up there for the Revelry. Maybe I'll talk to Coach Coop and see if I can invite myself again this year.
Nice, man. All right. Well, I've loved listening to you guys. Jay Swish, great addition, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking the time. That was an awesome chat.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Thank you So where's he from in Saskatchewan, Jay Swish?
Born in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, raised in Moose Jaw. Oops.
There you go. Graham DeLaet. Forgot about all this. I forgot how bad his back was. Once the interview got rolling there, I kind of forgot that he battled some serious injuries. And, he downplayed it. But for a while there, before he got hurt, he was, playing the President's Cup team, was one of the only guys from Canada that was out there playing with the big boys. And I think he paved the way for the Nick Taylors and the Adam Hadwins, or helped them. Maybe not pave the way, but help them, get to the tour. So thank to Grambo. He loves hockey, loves betting on DraftKings. He's a fucking beaut.
Well, a well-respected guy amongst his peers. I found that out early in his career. But yeah, from a good Canadian kid, Obes, you know what it's like, man. Golfing up in Canada to make it to the PGA Tour is something special. It's awesome. And now just being, he's still on tour, man. He's just getting to travel around with TSN.
He's working.
What a great gig.
Yeah, with your buddy Bobby Weeks there.
Bobby Weeks.
Isn't Bobby Weeks with TSN?
Yeah, he was the old score guy. Yeah, I'm sure he's still kicking.
He hooked us up with some passes at the Ryder Cup there. Let us sit inside the ropes.
Terry Duffy, he hooked us up there too.
Terry Duffy's the man.
But yeah, what a treat. It'd be great to do a little golf thing with him at some point. I mean, the guy's game is tight.
Yeah, well, we're going to do it right here. Hey, the Wizard, Ray Whitney.
Yeah.
You got to invite Graham DeLaet to the revelry. Coop, I'm inviting myself. I'm coming again. You got to tell Massimo. We'll see Massimo at the member guest. I'm going to throw that little fucker maybe in 9 pond when I see him. But we got to get back up there for sure.
I'm going to be reminding him, yeah.
I love Gossett Ranch. It's so good. It sounds unbelievable.
It's the best.
The tree bar. I love getting pinned at that tree bar.
So good.
Swishy, what'd you think of the good Saskatchewan lad?
Well, first off, I don't want to play in that tourney, but I'll come loop for the boys because I always give a good number. So I'll be on the bag.
100%. You're counting for me and Coop if I get the invite. 100%.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I can always get you a nice number. I'll dust off your nugget too, whatever you need, fella. I like Harry at all, but yeah, it was sweet. I just love the insight he had, Obes. Just in terms of different shots at Augusta going through Rory's head, and you forget how good of a player he was. He was the highest rank he ever got to was 25. From like 2014 to 2017, man, he had a pretty good stretch run. He finished 7th in the PGA Championship, and it was cool to talk to him. Everything from hockey to golf, and he's just a good Sasky fella. So it was really good chat with Grambo, and for the first time meeting him over Zoom or whatever, it was really cool to chat with him. So it was a great interview.
Yeah, diehard Flames fan. So Grambo, thank you. Updog, thank you. Jay Swish, you're the man. Hall Pass Media, Kyle Collins, Conway, Max, the ice pick up. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.